We're still trying to figure out what we're going to talk about.
Well, we don't really talk about what we're going to say. I think I shared that at the beginning.
Yeah, I know. And well, we like to come
Well,
in
we
with.
have something today that we've been waiting on to share that you wanted to wait for today, and you're going to share that at the end.
Yeah, close to the end.
Yeah.
But
I do want to say, though, that I just want people to get reminded.
I'm trying to have my big fat head block the sun. We're doing it a little bit earlier, so the setting sun's over here. We don't want to blind
We
anybody.
could sit over there.
Nah, I already tried that. Then you're
You have another
squinting.
perch chair right there?
Oh my goodness, it's
Oh yeah.
horrible.
Well, speaking of squinting, that's why I wear these. You know, I have stimuli issues, so I noticed. We still haven't watched the videos that we posted. Anyway, I did look at one partly, and I noticed I was squinting like this, my eyes, because I get so overstimulated, especially right now with emotions being high. So
Yeah.
I can't handle it out here. So these are the lightest. I also have dark ones. I don't want to look so cool. I just want to look a little cool.
No,
So
you're-
I can't take
you
this off,
failed.
or else
You look way
I'll be
cool.
literally closing my eyes.
You look too cool.
And I can't talk. So
Well,
all
I
right,
mean, it's just so you know, she had a tumor, and Ruby, it just towards the end of the day, stimuli, and so lights, a lot of lights and noises really start to bother her. So like, if you see our house at night, we have a lot of rheostats, and she starts turning down the light, and I start stubbing my foot all over the place because I can't hardly see. I'm walking around, kind of like
He's
feeling.
so good. I know. I
know.
come like 4:00, not so much because it's the sunlight, but
Yeah.
as soon as I can, I start dimming the lights.
Dimming the lights. I can't
you
see
know,
anything.
And then by
yeah.
the time 8:30 rolls around, Mike has his little iPhone. No,
Trying to figure
this
things
is what
out.
I do. In all honesty, I actually wear my sunglasses in the house, and that's one thing I always kind of thought people that wore their sunglasses in the airport were like, you know, too cool. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. And I just feel like it's coming back to get me because I cannot stand wearing my sunglasses inside.
Yeah.
But I have no choice when
That's
I'm
our
so
life.
overstimmed.
Yeah.
Let's get to the point.
Yeah, let's get to the point. We digress. Sorry about that.
We didn't do that at the
I know
beginning.
that.
Wait,
So
let's stop. Today's the third. This is the third video. So go ahead.
okay, yes, because I can't count beyond 2. So yeah, I guess this is the third video, but we wanted to talk about basically this weekend. So, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's just a couple of days. Oh, be careful with the sun.
I know.
So it's a couple of days removed, but we want to talk about. So Friday, where we left off, was just a horrendous day for us emotionally, not spiritually, but just emotionally. And so we really needed when you find those periods in time in your life, everybody grasps for something. Fortunately, we weren't grasping for drugs or alcohol or whatever, you know, to distract us. We were grasping for the 2 most important things in this world, and that is our loved ones and our God. And so, and
Each
we're
other.
yeah, we're, you know,
Yeah.
and we love, you know, so we were grasping for each other and for God. And so we had just incredible couple. And then we just love them to death, and slightly older than us. And they have a person who's just an incredible guy, and we love him to
Say
death.
their names.
I know.
Their names are Charlotte and Jillian. They're like my adopted parents. They're
Yeah.
darling. We're very,
They're the
very, very
best.
close. The first night we found out, we were talking to them on the phone,
Yeah.
and they live in Biltmore, and they drove all the way out 45 minutes, and he is in his 80s and she's in her upper 70s.
Yeah.
They drove out to sit with us the first night.
Yeah.
So that's how close they are to us.
Oh, they're and
they're LDS. They're LDS. They're Mormon, and
Yeah.
and for many of you know that I was, you know, Mormon for 40 years, or I still am Mormon actually. But bottom line is, and I'll let you share.
Okay.
What you are? Well, you're not really like.
you're Catholic.
I know that, but I'm also, I guess I'm still LDS. I didn't become an LDS, so I'm Catholic
You're
and
un-LDS?
Christian and LDS. So I got a couple.
Okay.
I'm trying to get all of them, so just in case.
Okay. Well, anyways, okay.
Sorry,
I don't want to go on too long. Okay,
Yeah,
so we're just
here we
being
go.
silly. So, they have a beautiful friend named Mac, and he is just so spiritual, so beautiful, and he gave us a blessing, and it was so meaningful.
Yeah.
Just, and I just really felt surrounded by loved ones who had passed, not only mine but yours. Yeah. You know, and I just felt the presence of the Lord. It meant so much to me because, in a time of grief, you need to cling to something, and hopefully it's something healthy. So I clung to my beautiful wife. I love you. I wasn't sure we were gonna kiss. Hold on. And I clung to my Lord, and I just felt His presence, and it was a beautiful blessing, and just a bunch of tears and a bunch of happiness, in a good way, knowing that you're protected beyond this life, and it was a beautiful moment. I don't necessarily need to share about it, but it was just a beautiful moment with some beautiful, faithful people, and it meant a lot to us. And then we went off and had lunch with Charlotte and Julian, and it was just, we just really needed to we were scrambling for normalcy, and so we just went out and had a great lunch with them, and had a pleasant time, and it was nice. I up to this point, I've always been kind of nervous about, I don't want to say nervous, I've just conscious about calories and stuff like that. I just had the fattest pancakes I could have possible. It's great too.
By the way, can I just say something about you? This guy has so much discipline, like
oh no,
crazy discipline with food. I'm kind of like the dude where I'm like, I'll order 3 extra, pancakes or whatever. I don't have that discipline at all, but he is just a rock. Like, he will not eat all day long until like 8 or 8:30, sometimes even longer if you don't work out, because he has to work out before he eats his meal, and he will not eat during the day. So that was just a part of our lives. Like, I just knew that, okay, I couldn't get him to eat, so I would just, eat when I wanted to, whatever. But Mike just intermittent fasted a lot, because he has so much discipline that way. So I just wanted them to understand, like,
right.
And also don't talk about Mountain Dew.
No, that's
you
too
want to talk about
much. 7 minutes into the video already.
Oh dear. Okay.
I don't want to kill them yet. Killed them with boredom. So, anyways,
he lived on Mountain Dew too. He lived on Mountain Dew.
Okay, I did. Did. And so, but it was a great meal with them, and it was trying to normals. And then after that, we ended up going out and going to our hike, which is Pinnacle Peak, right next to us, a couple miles from us. It was so good. It was just getting back up there and going up on a hike and just feeling normal. Like I said, it was after a very emotional night the night before. It was nice to find and gravitate to something that you did as a couple and that you love to do. And so that was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you want to talk about this, and then we got up and went to church on Sunday, to a Catholic church. Apparently, my wife here, multiple religions. I'm just finding out now. So, anyway.
You never can have too many.
Yeah, no. Stockpiling.
But one God.
Yeah,
That's
one
what
God.
matters. One Lord.
They
Lord.
all lead to one path.
That's right.
To the Lord.
Right. So that's what
Exactly.
matters.
Okay.
So Saturday, Pinnacle Peak is a very spiritual place for us. We live so close to it, and we have Tom's Thumb, which is another hike behind us, and it's very, you can hear the birds.
Yeah.
You can hear those birds.
Yep.
Oh, we love it. Anyway, okay, I'll hustle. So Sunday. What I'm going to say about Sunday is I would invite everybody, if you're interested about Sunday. It was a very powerful day. I'll do a very quick overview of it because I did cover it in detail with the I'm Kendra from MIKENDRA video that I made. It talks a lot about Sunday. One of them does. I don't know which one, but I know I talked about it. So I don't want to repeat myself. But I will say, woke up on Sunday and it was just this heaviness. Sunday is a very sacred day for us. Sunday is a day that we worship. Sunday is a day we just really try to alter our lifestyle as much as we can and honor the day as a day of rest. We try to do our best.
A day of prayer, yes.
A day of prayer and reflection. And so it's always just been a really precious holiday in our lives. And so when I woke up, it was almost as if it was like a different day, which it is. And I liken it to when, like I was saying, like I didn't really drop my kids off at daycare when I had little kids, but what I did do is, take them to the babysitter or whatever. But when I went to pick them up from the babysitter, they would look at me, they're like maybe like a year and a half, 2, and they'd look at me and like, they start crying, right? And I'm like, why is my baby crying? So at any rate, found out that that's because they feel like they can, as they feel like they can just finally like be themselves. And so Sunday came and I was starting to feel this heaviness, almost like a darkness, like I just kept having these I don't know, more of defeating thoughts, like, oh, Kendra, like, here goes another big trial, na, 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 na,
Yeah.
think about these. You just asked last week that you weren't going to have a child. Like, I just had a conversation with God last week about, that we really appreciated our life at the moment. It just was really
Yeah.
nice, and I remember hiking at Pinnacle, and I told the Lord, I was just like, I love this. This is,
Yeah.
what, like 7 days, or no, I'm sorry, like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
I said, if I could just keep it like this for a little bit, just like, keep it like this. Because we've had a couple of health challenges the last year, even last year. And I was just like, okay, deal. Like, I can handle this,
Yeah.
and then, So anyway, I was just feeling like I was doing something very, excuse me.
Ooh.
I was feeling like perhaps I was doing something like wrong, or I don't know, just having defeating thoughts that are not biblically true. But nonetheless, I felt like it was the adversary really working on me, but couldn't really figure that out. So I'm not going to go through all the details. I will say this. When we drove separately because we have a little family that he had to pick up. But
I picked up our friends and our children, and
Yes.
so I took them to church, and
Yes.
so I
Our
met
adopted-
our adopted family
Yeah.
from Albania, and
love them so much.
love them. And
Yeah,
then
we do.
so we ended up meeting at church, and so I didn't see a lot of this internal turmoil that she was going
no,
going through.
I did. I was very teary in the morning, even though I
Yeah.
had the hope from the emergency department. I just
Yeah.
was just heavy. And so yeah, like I said, I'll go into more detail in the video that I already recorded. But long story short, I just had some clear questions, not questions of why me, but other questions that I just really needed to know that the Lord was with us. So I walked into church, and I was very emotional the whole Mass. I tried to obviously, contain myself, but it was a really hard,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just was, I saw my Lord up there, and I think it was just kind of like, okay, you're coming to pick me up, like, I'm saying, like you're here with me. Let me just kind of, So anyway, it was hard. So we got done, went back, and then we saw the priest. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we went back and talked to the priest, and Father Fred was just so nice, and he's just a good man, good priest, and listened to us, and he goes, let's go back and do an anointing, and it just felt good. It just felt so good to feel the blessings of the Lord, because when you go through this, whether it's something small or huge like what we're going through, you need to know from a father figure that it's okay. And whether I mean a father like a priest father, or your father, or our Lord the Father, you just want to know it. And so I just felt it. I just felt the presence, and I just felt like everything's going to be okay. We got this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fight like heck because of incredible people around me, and you.
Well, I already said the Lord. I'm going to kick and scream. That's not happening. You're going
I
to stay
know
with
that.
me forever. So you're stuck
I'm
with
going to
me.
give you everything.
You're stuck with me.
I am stuck with you, and I want to be stuck with you. And so it was good. Father Fred just gave us a good anointing, and it just made me feel good walking away and just feeling just from the weekend. It was just a beautiful spiritual weekend. And so it just aligned the planets up and really put what centered was first was our God, our loved ones, and then our health, and a lot of people say if you don't have health, you have nothing. Well, I say if you don't have God, you have nothing.
Yeah, that's
And
so true.
You're
absolutely right.
health will come.
You're absolutely
God always
right.
has to be there.
That's right.
Because
right.
without God, you can't have anything.
No, nothing.
I know.
From God we came from God we return to.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's beautiful, honey.
I know.
It's beautiful. I will say too that the darling little family that we have, our sweet Davida and Victor, they have a very faithful family from Albania, very faithful. And I immediately called Davida, who's the wife, and I asked her to please send this message to Victor, who's her husband's sister in Albania, who's a nun. So she did, and she was so gracious to take his full name to another nun who serves in this in the home that the Blessed Mother lived with Jesus. I think he was a child or
Yeah.
something. There's a
Where he was raised.
little tiny hut, little tiny home. And anyway, so they put Mike's name in that home. So I just know that the power of prayer and the power of our Holy Spirit is just down upon us. And I did share what happened when we got home from church on the other video, which I talked all about, chapter 13, and which is a weird number.
I know. It is
We
very...
got it together and it's 4, so it's okay.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, so super big spiritual day. We felt energized. We felt I didn't feel defeated anymore, you know, and I felt like, you know what, God actually does not chastise, but he tries those that love him, period.
Yeah.
And so sometimes he does it an awful lot. So guess what? It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Do not argue with reality because you will always lose.
But the last thing I think we wanted to talk about.
This is special. If you need to listen, people, this is special.
I think this is for guys out there, especially.
My bad. That was me.
Oh. Okay. We'll have to fix that in editing.
Sit back and listen because this is powerful.
Okay, I came out. So my lovely Kendra was outside, and I just came outside, and I just. What you're gonna get, even in these videos, you can see this. Sometimes I just get kind of emotional, but you have these roller coasters up and down, and I felt good after the day. You know, it still was spiritual, was raw, but I just remember coming out to her, and I just felt, you know, as a man, you have a lot of titles, you know, in your life, whether it's father, son, coach, principal. My case, pilot, you know, and as a husband, protector, provider, things like that. And I just felt like a lot of my titles were being stripped away, you know, pilot, you know, my job, gone. And then, which you take you work a lot of hard, you know, you work hard for and you're proud of, you know, whatever your job title is, you know, sometimes, you know, it takes a lot. And then, you just, now all of a sudden you start to lose these titles, and I just felt like, man, Lord, if I'm not around here, I mean, how am I can't provide, I can't protect, and that's just gone. And then I just said, you know, I still have the two most important titles, you know, and that is my father's son. You know, I'm a child of God. And no matter what, until my last day, I'm going to have that title. And almost as important, I'm always going to have the title husband. You know, maybe I'll struggle to provide. Maybe I'll struggle to protect. Maybe I won't have the title of my job titles anymore. But those are the two that I need. And those are the two that all I need. I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, of course, son to my parents and father to my children. Those are just right up there too. And even if I were to pass from this earth, I will still be father to my children and brother to my sisters and son to my parents. But in that moment, I just said, no matter what this disease does, it can't take away the fact that I'm a child of God and that I'm a husband. And, you know, and so you have to find out, even if some of those titles that you thought were important get stripped away, you realize what's really important. And that's what it is, right here and right up there. And so the disease can take some things, but it can't take everything. And so that's where we are. And so we're on this journey, right?
You are such a beautiful person.
No.
You know why I love him, right?
I love her. So
I love that, you know, like I said in the video, Kendra, what did I name my Kendra? I named my video. Oh, Kendra from MIKENDRA. That's my videos, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. I said in that video, one of the videos, Kendra from MIKENDRA, I said, one thing you have to be prepared for, and this is for the caregivers, the partners, is to drop everything, anything. It doesn't matter. Just be ready. Boom, done.
Yeah.
And I remember I was in the driveway parking. I was pulling out of the driveway. I was talking to my best friend Winnie again. She's on, and Mike just comes out and says something really innocent, and I was literally pulling out, and then there was a little bit of a lag in what he said or something. I just knew there's something on his mind.
That's what it was.
And then we call it the driveway discussion. We were probably out there for what, a long time.
No, it wasn't an hour, but it was
It was
definitely us talking about that is what it's, end of life or the fear of it. This isn't end of life. This is just the fear of it, the uncertainty. But it does a lot of things to you. And it gives you a lot of uncertainty, but you've got to be certain about the important things in life, and hold on to those. They'll never go away. Who cares if I'm not a pilot anymore? It means nothing. She means everything. So that's what we just wanted to say. So we'll let you go.
It was so beautifully said.
Thanks, baby.
But you know what you still are?
What?
You're a Buckeye fan. Is what you still are.
We'll talk about that later.
OH.
I-O. We'll talk about that later. So I'm not going to say people from Michigan can't listen to this.
Nope.
But you got to.
Can't listen.
But if you get something out of it, you realize you may have to root for the Buckeyes, around Thanksgiving every year on the big game. Okay, guys, have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.